Hi guys, this morning I made some famous Guyanese pastries. It's called pine tart, which is pineapple tart, and made with my homemade jam. And look at the jam inside here. And spicy Guyanese cheese roll. Just breaking it here and show you inside. It's so yummy. Look at that melted cheese in there, which is basically grated cheese, some chopped coriander and mustard, and I've added some chilies in there as well. So let me show you how I make this. So first of all, normally this is done by hand, but I'm just using my food processor. It's a lot quicker. So in my food processor here I have 2 cups of plain flour, and here I have half a cup of full fat margarine, and a quarter cup of butter. So you have to make sure that your butter is cold. So then what we'll do, we'll just pulse this a bit to mix the butter, the margarine, and the flour. So just a few pulses until everything is mixed together. And then we'll add in some iced water. So I think it's ready here for the water. So you see, it's all mixed in, the butter, the margarine into the flour. So we'll be adding in a quarter cup of ice water. We add this in first, a little bit at a time. And we just mix it. This is so much easier rather than doing it by hand. So we added in 1/4 cup of iced water, and I think with this recipe I need maybe 2 more tablespoons more of cold water, which I'm now adding in here. And I think that's enough water to get the right texture. And you see it's all coming together there. And there you have it. So I just take it, just to try it, I just take a little bit and I press it together. And you see it's all come together here. This is when it's ready. So all we do is we remove the pastry dough, and you just squeeze it together. There's no kneading in this. It's just to squeeze the pastry dough together. And we're just going to put this dough in a Ziploc bag. So once we put it in the Ziploc bag, we just press the pastry down and just to flatten it a bit. Then you just zip the bag, and then you'll be putting this in the refrigerator for about an hour. So next we'll work on the pineapple jam. So I actually use pineapple chunks. If you get the crushed pineapple, it's good. It's easier. So I just basically put this in my blender, just break it down a bit into smaller pieces. And I've also used the juice as well that came in the can. You can also use fresh pineapple and blend it up in your blender. I'm making this sugar-free, so I'm using canderel sugar instead of brown sugar or caster sugar. So there's 2 tablespoons of canderel sugar. Then I'll be adding in here some ground cinnamon. You can use a cinnamon stick if you wish, but so about a teaspoon altogether of ground cinnamon. You want it to have that cinnamon taste. Just a little bit more of ground cinnamon. Then I'll just be adding in about half a teaspoon of salt, just to balance up the sweetness. Then I'll just leave this on medium heat to cook and simmer down until all the liquid has evaporated, which took about 7 to 8 minutes. You just keep turning it. So the jam is finished now. You need to leave this to cool right down before we make our add it into our pastry. So here's our pastry dough after it's been in the refrigerator for an hour. So what I do, I start to work with half of it first and keep the other half in the fridge. Yeah, because pastry, you have to keep it in the fridge. So while I'm working with half, I'm just putting the other half back in the fridge. So I'm just going to go ahead and just cut this into 3 pieces. Oh, actually 4 pieces here. And I'm making these a good size, like I'm not making it too small. So just dust your board or your pastry mat. And here we're making a pine tart. You need to make this round and not too thin. You need to roll it not too thin. If you have a something round, you can cut it in a round shape. But I'm just using my pizza cutter here to give it a little bit of a round shape. And then here's our jam. So about a tablespoon or so. Just put it in sort of like the middle of the pastry. And then you need to fold it. So you start off with about 1/3 of it folded, and then the other side comes together like this, and then the bottom comes up. And that's how you make it into a triangle, and that's the pine tart pastry shape. And then you just take a fork and you press in the 3 corners, and you put some air holes on the 3 sides, and there you have it. Put it on the baking tray lined with parchment paper, and I'll show you how to do the cheese roll. For the cheese roll mixture, I've used grated cheese, mustard, and some chopped coriander. I've also added cut some wiri pepper, which is a very hot pepper, and because I like it spicy. And I mix that together. So I just again using my pastry cutter here just to make this here, it needs to be square for the cheese roll. And I had some I already made and had in the fridge. So that's my cheese roll mixture, which is grated cheese, chopped coriander, some chilies, and mustard. And the mustard I used was French mustard. So you just add some of this in and just leave some space at the corners. And then you just fold this and then fold it again. And there you have it, and press the ends. And then again, you use the fork and you press in the two ends. And that's the shape of the Guyanese cheese roll. Again, you put some air holes in there. And there you have it. So these are all my Pinetart and cheese roll all made out. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to brush it with some melted butter and some plant-based milk. Normally they use egg wash, but I don't use egg wash. I don't use eggs, so this is just melted butter and a little bit of plant-based milk. So just brush that liquid and base the top of the pastries. And these will be going into a preheated oven, 190 degrees Celsius, for about 20 minutes until it just starts to get a little bit golden brown. So our pastries are finished. We're just gonna base it again with some more of that melted butter and milk. This is so yummy, so yummy. I hope you try this recipe, guys. Just follow the video and try the recipe. It's so delicious. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.